Probably do the PX.
Okay.
PX.
Yeah. And so
That's very good.
I love the thought of cask finishing, and part of it comes from just being a Scotch guy, right? So
Mhm.
the traditionally Scotch was either single malt Scotch was either peated or not, and that was basically it. And then it was either in a sherry cask or a bourbon cask, right? And so most Scotch is finished in bourbon casks because they can get them. And the world quit drinking sherry at some point. I think it was between World War I and World War II, and so they kind of started running out of sherry barrels. But I really love Scotch that comes out of sherry butts. But they started experimenting a little bit with barrel finishes. Whatever 20 years ago. So it's natural that it would work for bourbon as well. But there's only so much you can do with your mash bill, right? And so if you want to, if you look at it like art, kind of like I do, and you want to create more and make more and paint more pictures, you would like to have more colors to paint with. And so, one option is to blend whiskeys. So get barrels from, other distilleries, or, Indiana whiskey, or Kentucky whiskey, or Tennessee whiskey, and do some blending. And, I love to do that. We don't do a ton of blending anymore, but I still like to, because it gives you, more colors to paint with. But cask finishing is a great way to do it. So when I first started thinking about it, as someone who likes to drink, I just instantly understood that port and bourbon went together like peanut butter and jelly. So we did a port cask finish first, and you can do there are different styles of port, but tawny works best. So we do tawny cask finishes. Love that whiskey. I also love sherry. And so for people that drink sherry, if you don't drink sherry, you don't realize how diverse sherry is. If you do drink sherry, you know what I'm talking about. And so on the dry side, there's pheno sherries, and pheno sherries can be so dry that it's like a competition to like ruin your palate. Like that's how dry. It's sort of like there's a competition to make the hoppiest IPA or the peatiest Isla style Scotch. There's a competition in sherry to make the driest sherry, and I appreciate them, but like the really dry ones are tough. And then it goes all the way over to cream sherries, which are so sweet that I always say like a baby would drink it. Like that's how sweet it is. Okay. So in between there's a whole range. And so I love sherry, and I in my mind, thought that sherry and bourbon should go together. But what ended up happening was I ended up ruining a lot of bourbon, because it mostly does not work until you get to towards the cream spectrum. And I mean, I didn't want to do, a cream sherry. I don't even know if there are cream sherry barrels. I think cream sherry is like probably made in a plastic tote or something. I don't know. But PX is it's on the sweeter side of the sherry spectrum, and it's magic. And so what PX is short for Pedro Jimenez. Pedro Jimenez is a great varietal, and it's a style of sherry from Spain, of course. And so these barrels come off of Solera. So Soleras are, it's an interesting way to age a spirit. So rather than just put it in a barrel and then when it's ready, you take it out of the barrel. Solera, the barrels are all connected. And so you put the new make in on the top, and you take the aged stuff off the bottom, right? So it all gets sort of mixed in, and the barrels are all of different age. And when these barrels are ready to be retired, that's when we get them. And so, a lot of these barrels are like 100 years old. So it's cool. And so I love the PX finish. It's what's nice about it to me is that, again, it's bourbon, but there's more, right? And so the more are the sherry notes, and particularly the sherry wood notes. So the sherry wood becomes really, really prominent. And then dark fruits, things
Yeah.
like, fig, date, raisin, all that stuff's in
Nice.
there. A little bit of nuttiness, not as much as on the port, but a little bit of the nuttiness in there. And so, I mean, it's a complex whiskey, and it's very developed and deep, and I love that one. It's also the best whiskey I've ever had with a cigar. So if you're a cigar smoker, don't even waste your time. Just go straight to that and have that with your cigar, and you won't be disappointed. Some of the best whiskeys out there that you think would be great with a cigar don't work, and it's like our single barrel, we that we release. We always pick the barrels that concentrate butterscotch notes, and you would think it would just go so nice with the cigar. It does not. But this one is magic, and so
I can see how it would complement it well.
Yeah,
this is
sure.
I love this. This is like I could just sip this and just keep going.
Well, I'm gonna have to compare some notes with the cigar. So there's the rest of my night. No, this is very good. Like you said, there it is complex. There's a lot that gets to you there. A lot of flavors, but wow, that is very good.
Yeah, the thing I've noticed is, industry people really love this one. The average consumer probably prefers the port cask finish more because it's a little sweeter and it's really easy to figure out. But if you're in the industry or you're into cocktails, this is something that makes sense to your palate, and so this is for you. If you're that person, this is for you.
Yeah, I'm for those that like a sweeter old fashioned, this tastes like it would be kind of perfect in it because it's not overly sweet, but there's just that sweetness that would complement it perfect.
Like you mentioned fig and date, and I really get those out of this.
Yeah, this would be make an amazing kind of just on the sweet side old fashioned for sure.
Yeah, that's a cocktail crusher too. That is amazing in an old fashioned. I love that in an old fashioned.
Yeah,
that's actually my go-to in an old fashioned is the PX.
Okay, nice. We've done when we've had some varieties from the same distillery before. We've done blind old fashioned ratings. I think we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, man, do it.
I think this one. I think we'll know. I think
we'll know. But still, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
To put them all in an old fashioned and
line them up.
That one is very good.
Is that your favorite so far?
So far.
I
thought the 105. I really like the 105. This is just
taking us on a journey where they're getting more higher and higher ranked for Miranda.